What's going on, everybody? Doc here, Gamer Guys, back again. Last day on Earth action, and we're talking all things Hunter's Instinct. I'm going to say a couple of things up front. We're going to go, and I'm going to give some tips and tricks. We have been able to get a little bit of progress here today, but I do play on iOS, except when I'm playing on my computer, which is through the Google Play Store. I did not have access to the event, which many of you also fell into that same boat. A little unfortunate. The good part is, very long event, so I think there's plenty of time to get a lot done here. We're going to spend and talk about some tips and some tricks that I have. I took a look back, remembered a few things that I think are going to be helpful for those looking to progress forward, so I will share those. In addition, I'll talk some changes, some nuance, and a few other different things here that have changed since the last time that we had this event. Right up front, I will say, regardless of the rewards, and I think the rewards still potentially can be pretty cool, but some folks have unlocked it already, and I do not have it as of the recording of this video. I'm not going to have it probably for a little while. My understanding is it takes fuel to run, and it is a pretty inefficient machine. Now, the cool part is there is access for a couple of different ore extractors that we will have, and so even on free-to-play, you play the event, you should be able to get to the point where you can grind up enough to be able to purchase it. That being said, if you don't end up getting the ore extractor, I think there is a lot of other good shop-level rewards that you can pick up. So I do think, right up front, if you spend some time with this event, you work on it a little bit, I think you will be able to progress. You jump in daily. I don't think you're going to have to do a ton, honestly, and you should be able to make some decent little progress, dependent in some parts on how far you are. So, really quickly, I wanted to test this. This is one of the big things, abrasive. If you're not familiar with the event, you essentially are going to use abrasive to be able to sharpen up different weapons. Apply this, consider this kind of like a crafting material. This is going to allow you to then hunt the special animals or hunt animals in the locations and get skins and furs and other things that you can trade in for reputation and get your level up. Abrasive ends up becoming the single blocking element to progressing in this event. I will talk about how to get some more, but right up front here, I did want to test if you have any rations. I wanted to see how much abrasive this was going to get, and I don't have a ton of rations, so I'm going to use some here. For 10, I got 4, which is not good. I don't recommend that. If you do have the rations and you are looking for some, that might be the way to do it. You would probably be better off at resetting and refreshing your location. You can see down here, it's about a ration per hour or so. This is such a long event that I don't necessarily think you really need to do that. If you have access to it, by all means, spend your resources as you see fit. But this is a pretty long event. Let's take a quick look at the recipes here, and I'll talk about some things that I think are helpful. Here's why I don't think the rations are good. If it would have gave you 6 and you could have got a weapon out of it, I'd be okay with that. It didn't. It gave us 4, which is not enough for a weapon craft, which I do think is a total miss. The biggest thing I can tell you, the biggest tip I have for you is, 1, don't waste these weapons. You need to be very, very, very sure that what you're spending the weapon on is going to be skins and furs and the different elements and items that you can get to allow you to progress. Don't fight normal zombies with these. Don't waste your weapon durability. You cannot repair them. Cannot repair them, from my understanding, with the exception of, I believe, the Scorcher and the Anti-Spore Rifle are the only 2 that can be repaired in your repair bench. Everything else, I tried with the crossbow, I've tried with the machete. Those weapons cannot be repaired at the repair bench, and I think everything else pretty much falls into that category. So abrasive is going to be the sticking point. You have the opportunity, or you're going to basically work through these different chapters. I am up to level 6 here. I have the first 2 chapters complete. You need level 10 to get to the next one, then 15, then 20, then 30 to get down to the alligators. The interesting part is, in many instances, You can start to farm up some of these resources or most of these resources early, which is one of the other tips that I would give you if you have access to the northern zone. If you also have access via the boat, you can also go and get some crocodile skins now. Those things and dropping them into the reputation to get your level up is going to be the thing that helps you. Again, though, for many players, the holdback is going to be abrasive and the weapons. You're also going to find that with many of these initial chapters, it is going to ask you to craft one of these weapons. So you saw here with the noble deer, you had to craft the hunting spear. You can't progress past this without doing that. And you do want to get these fangs or whatever these are, the currency, by doing all of these things. Your goal is to fully complete the chapter, then go and fight that animal or do whatever that chapter requires to then get the extra bonus. The bonuses are huge and they will continue to stack up as you go. Now, from my recollection, and I have not seen all of the chapters for this one, you are going to have to craft a handful of these additional weapons as you go through these chapters. So making sure that you not only save some of your abrasive for that, but also are utilizing your weapons smartly, because a lot of these similar type of tasks are going to repeat themselves for the respective animal. So you're going to have to melee in stealth mode some foxes and some boars. You're going to have to long range kill a handful of these animals as you go along here. So just keep that in mind. It is really important. Now you can go, if you have some spears or whatever, you certainly can go farm some of these materials. But I would say early on, the biggest thing you can do is just make sure you're using those effectively, and then obviously doing your best, log in every day on your resets to get your abrasive. The other thing I want to talk about, and you see here, I have a handful of crossbows, I have a bow as well, and I do have some abrasive. I did spend some coins with the fisherman to get some abrasive, so I will share that and show you that is an additional option if you have that access. Essentially, if you're not free to play and you have some coins, maybe from a season pass, you can use it. I will tell you right now, 100%, my opinion, outside of the specialty weapons, the Scorcher and the Spore Rifle, which are new for this season of the Hunters event, the crossbow is absolutely fantastic. Great sneak weapon, huge damage that you're putting down, and very, very good durability. Way more so than the bow, way more so than the rest of these things. I also am a big fan of the machete, but will tell you, between the cleaver and between the machete, whatever weapon you have the most mods on should be the one that you're doing. And the reason for that is because you can have mods installed on these and then craft them. You can also install your mods on all of these things, well, with the exception of these because they don't have mods, but your machete, your cleaver, your spears, and your bows, if you craft it as a basic with just the abrasive and get the special blade or arrow tip or whatever, you can then go back to your bench, make sure you don't auto it, but you can go in and you can click on and add your respective mods that you do have access to. So pick your best weapon between your cleaver and your machete. For me, it's my machete because I do the most damage. That's going to be very helpful. So having some of these, we will craft those, and that's the best way to go, in my opinion. But if you're looking for probably the overall best weapon, crossbow. It's the crossbow. It's very easy to get your sneak attacks in, which are super, super helpful for this. Really, really good durability. That, for me, is where I'm spending a lot of abrasive, and that's why I have, literally from the last event, I kept a bunch of these crossbows with the hunting arrowhead on. If you have those in your inventory from the last event, they work. So pull them out, utilize them, make use of them. That is going to be super, super helpful for you. Now, you do need manual earth drills. Another not great change for this, unfortunately. On your resets, you're going to be able to come in and get your abrasive each time. When you get to the bear chapter, which is level 20, so it takes a little while to get there, but when you get to the bear chapter, the rest of this cave is going to open up and you will be able to get additional abrasive. That is essentially the turning point for making really good additional progress. One, you will be close to finishing the chapters. You'll only have one more once you complete the bear. You'll have the alligator. But two, you'll get so much additional abrasive. You should be able to make a couple of additional weapons, at least one, maybe two. I'm not sure what it looks like at this point, but I do recall from last time, once you open the cave up, you get those additional deposits. That's going to be really, really big. Then you'll be able to craft at least an additional crossbow probably, and hunting daily is going to be very, very helpful for you. So your goal initially, level up as quickly as you can. Save your weapons only for when you need to farm the items, and then also making sure that you you have some to be able to craft weapons, because that's going to be a step in many of the chapters. How do you get this stuff leveled up? Well, you drop this in. From my understanding, from everything I tested, at least for these, I believe everything was a full stack of 20 to get the points. Now, if you have thick leather available to you because you have the boat, this is really good. This is going to be one of the better ones. Certainly alligator skins and bear claws are going to be great. If you can have access to the northern zone, you should be able to get boar tusks and your fox tails. So I need to go farm that here today. As you would imagine with this, it resets every day. So being able to just fill this up as best as you can is going to help you to get up to that level 20, get to the bear tasks, and then open up some additional abrasive. And then really the event should open up for you at that point. If you don't have thick leather, that's okay. I have seen a lot of some frustration, and I think it's warranted that the boat gives additional access. Like I can go to the wetlands right now. The nice part is I'd rather it be the boat than the ATV. What I don't know going forward, because I haven't seen it, but what they did do last time is it became a separate location so that you could go and actually complete the event. I think it's going to be the same. I can't confirm it. If anybody has made it to the alligator step and wants to share that with us that doesn't have the boat, I would be interested to know. So don't get discouraged. I do think you're going to still be able to make a ton of really good progress if you don't have the boat available to you. And there's a lot, I think, of good stuff to be able to pick up. So make sure you're filling this up daily. That's going to be really, really huge. I talked about abrasive, and the main way to get more is get to level 20, get to that step. And I know it seems far off, but it is possible. That being said, if you come to the trader here, please do not spend 20 burly. This is crazy to me. Like, this is too much. If this was like 2, whatever, 20, please don't do that. It's not worth it. You're better off just literally spending your coins. And I know it's 40 coins for 2, so it's essentially 120 coins for 1 weapon. That is a lot, okay? I'm not saying that this is good by any means. Do your daily fishing, get your couple. If you have some coins and you want to spend to get that extra weapon and get a little bit of advanced progress, by all means do that, or save them. I don't think this is the way to do it, in my opinion, but this is an option for you. You can buy it. Of course, you can reset this location if you want to do that, but that's up to you. But again, check your inbox. If you played this event last time, you might have some. You could also consider the premium reward for this. You know me, this account is not free to play. I will be doing this on my free to play account as well. How do I feel about the reward track? The one thing I'm happiest about is that it is uncapped. You can get to level 40, whatever this is, 41, and you can continue to earn this currency. And that is pretty cool. That makes this event truly grindable for those that want to grind. I am personally not a big fan of a lot of this stuff being locked. I do think some of the better rewards, like I'm not super mad that like the Doberman puppy is locked necessarily. Kind of stinks that the blueprint is locked. I do like that you get an armor set here. So even if you don't have the island unlocked, there's like pretty good island resources, in my opinion. They're not at good quantities. Like 3 processed quartz kind of sucks in my opinion. 2 sporicide is good, but I'd rather have 10. But get to level 33, level 34. This armor isn't anything. This is titanium essentially, for the boots and for the pants here. So that's not terrible. This is actually probably one of the better rewards in my opinion. So I'm not a huge fan of this. If you do buy the premium, you are going to get access to some additional things. I do think it's cool. You get a professional fishing rod out of this. You get some additional resources. I don't know that those are even necessarily worth it. unless you care a lot about puppies. That, my opinion, plus you get one of the hunting rifles is pretty cool. But getting a St. Bernard puppy, getting a drone blueprint, some genomes is fine, but also getting a Doberman puppy is probably really what you're buying, in my opinion. Disagree with me, that's totally fine. Don't buy it. I don't think you need to. If you're logging in every day, we have like 20 days or 18 days to complete this, 17 days to complete this event. That is plenty of time to make really, really good progress. I also recommend for people that are maybe on the fence, if you're not sure where you're going to get to, if you can log in every day, wait. You can wait to buy this until the day before it ends. Do that. Maybe you get really, really far and you're like, you know what? All these season experience would be worth it and some of the extra stuff would be cool and you're cool with spending some money. Go that route. That's the best way. If you don't get a ton of progress and you don't get very far, don't spend it. That's my opinion. And I think that's a fair assessment of, did you enjoy it? Were you able to get where you wanted to? Let's talk about the store here really quick. So you have two. You have a one-time trophy market, which I'm going to show and pop up here in a second so you can see all of the pricing. Shout out to Cross. And I'm not sure where he picked this up from. I think the official Last Stand or Discord, somebody again was able to get and unlock this. But pretty cool trophy market. This is one-time purchases, so you can pick these up, buy them, and then you won't be able to buy them again. They will be sold out. You also have a daily market that refreshes every time. I'm in the way of the timer here, but this one is a daily market and does refresh. So if you do want to pick up some genomes, I think the best things for a lot of folks here are going to be Rottweiler puppies is actually really cool. I'm not sure how much these are. That is pretty neat. For those of you that are still working on mods, you have some factory parts, you have springs here. You're working on your ATV, some carbon composite, some steel plates. If you are really grinding or you want to get an opportunity to level up your racks and you don't have the ATV yet, you can actually come in here and get a couple of stacks of ash planks. This is 20 a pop. Now, I don't know how much these are to say this stuff is worth it, but that is pretty cool. Many folks, if you have access to the boat and you've been doing your island region, you probably need fuel. Not only do you have charcoal here, but if you also want to buy 10 fuel briquettes is pretty cool. So I think this is a pretty good daily store, in my opinion. You can pick up a lot of puppies here, again, depending on how much these are. Husky puppies are cool too. You can pick up some extra genomes. I don't know that this was worth it. I think it was 80 for this 10, which is like not a great conversion rate. There's probably something better to buy here, but you do have to get up to level 30 to get full access. Level 10, though, gets you to here, and that is important to note. So cool stores. I like the way it's set up. I like the stores. I like the things. Let's take a quick look here at total pricings. Excuse me. It's 7,000 to get one of the titanium or one of the ores. I believe this is titanium, copper, and I don't remember what the third one here is. Somebody can drop that down in the comments below. You do have an EXBP for only 650. So very, very reasonable buy here. You do have some extra genomes, which are quite expensive, but if you're grinding to that, or maybe you're close to getting an upgrade or grabbing a storage or something that you need, that's cool. I will say that 5 gas cylinders for 3,000 is also very, very good. If you're on that hunt to try to get your ATV done, that's huge. That's a lot. I wouldn't probably do the flight controller, not worth it. Tactical backpack and a Dragunov only for 1,000 is pretty nice. You'll see here, we'll jump back. How many am I at? I'm at 920, and again, I'm at level 6. So very, very reasonable pricings here. Equalizer for 500, rank 2 pup. Like, this store actually feels pretty reasonable for quite a few of the things. Not necessarily everything. Don't spend 2,500 on an ATV wheel because you just raid for these. But the rest of it actually feels pretty good. And a St. Bernard puppy for only 2,000, which is really cool. And it's a level 2. Hard to get. You're spending a lot of genomes for these, so that is a good pickup. So I do really think, regardless of if the ore extractors are going to be good, which initial impressions is maybe not, probably not. I'm going to get it. I'll showcase it here in a future video. Other than that, though, there is some really good stuff here. There's some good reasons to grind, get it leveled up. Again, that EXBP, attack backpack, the Dragonov, the puppies, gas cylinders, lots of good stuff for you to pick up. Plus, again, you have access to, and you will be able to get updates to this daily store. Come back here and have a reason to spend this. So, biggest recommendation, log in every day, play it, have some fun, get your abrasive, save your weapons. If you do that, I promise you, you will progress. It will feel a little slow at first. It will ramp up as you get going here. Hit your stuff, you'll be able to knock that out. So just really quickly, just note that you can pick up again. It'll show you the materials that you can get in these locations in purple. So if you want to go and look to do that. Over here is the Forgotten Wetlands. It is important to note, last time you could get boars here. You cannot get boars here anymore. This is purely just for alligator skins if you have the boat. So don't go there expecting to be able to get that. You can get boars here, as you would imagine, because of the new northern region changes. So that is an option for you. And then, of course, you have your foxtails over here with your oak locations that you're going to be able to pick up. Sometimes some of this stuff may override if you have daily tasks here. So just be careful with that, okay? I have heard some folks talking about, like, there was like the deer had spore protection. Once I cleared my daily task, I didn't run into that problem, so that is important to note. One other just kind of random change in Sand Quarry, I was fighting NPCs now. They had some Sporicide, some seaweed, and a couple of other things on them, so just be prepared for that if you were doing some grinding in Sand Quarry. That is one of the updates that I did notice. No other changes up to this point that I have noticed, but you do have access to quite a few of the materials. And I just want to see here really quick. Yeah, so you don't need the ATV for these. Again, my only concern here is that the wetlands is only accessible to those folks with the boat. I hope that's not the case. But again, if somebody has progressed that far and can let us know. I think last time what it did is it popped up a location over here somewhere and you were able to run to it and it was consistent. I think it was just a semi-permanent where you could just come back to it during the course of the event. I think the only one that's not clear is the bear claws, and from what I recollect is once the bear becomes available, it was in Limestone Spires. You could go and you would be able to fight these once you progress to that point. That may be the same, it may be different this time. I just am not there to be able to share that with you. So all in all, a fun event. Hopefully that's some good tips for you. I chatted a lot again, and I apologize for that, but there's a lot to cover here. The last thing I just want to say really quickly is be very careful if you have a true friend. The way that this system works is if you hit any of the animals with any damage that is not special damage, and we can do this to the turkey because the turkey is not special. If you do any damage to this, okay, you see how it has the special symbol, kind of like in armor. You need to use a weapon to be able to do that. If you hit it with this and you kill it without dealing any additional damage, you will get that special animal's fur, skin, whatever the case, okay? Be very careful, though, because if you have a true friend dog or you hit it with anything else, and I will showcase this here, what's going to end up happening is you ruin it. You don't get that. You're not going to get that. You will see it break here, essentially, which goes to tell you that, hey, you're not going to get that special thing. In addition, you can see they're all messed up and screwed up. It means you ruined the fur. So be very, very careful, because your true friend puppers, unfortunately, don't have special bites. So they will ruin your stuff if you're not careful, if you don't pay attention to that. And that can be an unfortunate but quick and easy way to ruin some hides that are going to be important for you. Again, crossbow is absolutely fantastic. Boom, bing, it's dead, it's done. We're dusted. We are good to go here. So have fun farming. We will bring, and I will get you an update here in a couple of days when we have access to some of the further chapters. We'll also showcase some of this here on our free-to-play account, so stay tuned. Good luck on the grind. I will let you know how the ore extractor is when we pick one up, because we will be getting one. And yeah, we'll share some additional things here as we go forward. Enjoy the event. It's a ton of fun. Oh, last thing I will note, check your inbox. You may have access, you may have an inbox where you get some things for the anniversary event. I believe the daily reset is actually populating it for some folks. So if you don't have it right now, don't freak out. It may roll out here a little bit later, and that'll be pretty cool. I think it's a poster and some cakes or something crazy, but it's free stuff, I guess. So hopefully you get it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. Catch you in the next one. Peace.